Send 1050.
Oh my God, this is my song. I've been listening to the radio all night long.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker. Up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on today?
What's going on? Lots going on.
I'm so glad to see you, Hazy B. I thought for a minute they would have called the Nova Scotia chapter of the gambling. But you're alive. You're not anywhere. You didn't have to answer any phone calls, any door knocks. They did not go after your little mini, whatever the hell you were doing.
Now, I wasn't using X-ray vision or
have you ever heard of anything like that, by the way?
That's Austin Powers stuff. Number 2. That's number 2 with his eye patch, and he's reading cards.
Tell people what we're talking about.
All right, so you want to talk about having a difficult morning. I would say Adam Silver had an incredibly difficult morning, the commissioner of the NBA. Arrests were made. Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, Terry Rozier. Rozier is still playing. Chauncey Billups is the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. They played last night. He's a coach. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a former Raptor, the face of the Pistons team in 2004.
Yeah, imagine him saying, I'm checking for curfew tonight, fellas. You better not have a late one.
Right. Now, he has been alleged to have been involved in a poker scheme where all this shady business was going on in terms of bilking people out of money. The other members of the NBA and others of, just, I guess, regular citizens, it's more about possibly throwing props and sports gambling and stuff like that, which we saw before with Jonte Porter, and Porter is involved in this same ring. But I guess this has been an investigation that's been going on for years. But Kash Patel, who's the director of the FBI, literally said that this investigation with the NBA and La Cosa Nostra, like that was the sentence. If you're Adam Silver, you were hearing NBA and La Cosa Nostra
Mafia
connected by the head of the FBI. Do you know how crazy that is and how crazy this story is? And the NBA just started 2 nights ago. So you got this, you got Kawhi Leonard, planting trees and Steve Ballmer and all that. All it is controversy right now. And this is much deeper than that, clearly. But the point being is it just isn't stopping for the NBA. It's a really deep and heavy and crazy story. And
well, that guy Porter for the Raps, I bet you he had a hand in kind of saying there's some other stuff. If you want to know about some stuff, I got some stuff for you.
That's what it is. I mean, you get guys who were saying, okay, you got me, but what about this? What about that? Like now it just snowballs, and that is going to be wild to see this unfold, because this is getting. It's like you say, it's day one. This can get ugly. I'm already seeing on Twitter people going, oh, well, remember this play where the guy threw the ball away? And you're like,
Dude,
people
that's what's
going
crazy,
back.
Jamie. All the plays are getting put up on Twitter. Like people have documented games where guys are screwing up and making plays at wrong times. Now they're all and who knows what's.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Athletes aren't perfect,
right?
You make mistakes, you miss shots.
When you're involved in something like this, and then they're going back on game tapes, and you're like, "Why the hell?" I mean, there was guys I think from Portland last night were saying, "How come with 4 seconds left this happened, and then this happened, and they fouled?" And they were radio hosts, and they were like, what the hell's going on here? Like, that's what's going to happen when something like this goes down.
That's the danger. That is certainly the danger. And, these are all allegations right now. They have been arrested, but they still are innocent until proven guilty. But that is what happened with Porter. It was about props. And this is the thing about gambling being legalized now. And if you're going to use a lot of the sites, including what we do, our title sponsors, FanDuel, it's, intertwined with sports in terms of legalizing gambling. And yet what comes with that, and I've said this forever, is it can be regulated much easier. It's not ever going to be perfect, but it can be regulated, where if there are bets taking place in cash in an alleyway, there's no way to regulate that necessarily. But what has happened here, and what happened with Jonte Porter, is all of a sudden there's, $20,000 being bet on his point total, and it's like, who's betting on Jonte Porter point totals for that amount of money?
Or other randos.
Exactly, or randoms. And that, again, allegedly was happening with Rozier, where it was bet my unders, and then I'm going to get injured, and I'm leaving the game, and sure enough, they believe they can connect it. 9 minutes in, there goes Terry. He's hurt, and he's leaving the game. So you can regulate this stuff, and you can find it, and they've been searching it. And it's imperative the leagues stay on top of this, because you can't have the legitimacy of your sport and your product and your brand taken into account. You can't.
Yeah.
So it's a very heavy story. Like, there's no disputing that. It's also tough to wrap your head around it.
Well,
like a poker scheme and Chauncey Billups
and apparently he's there like as one of him and others are just like the celebs, where people feel cool when they sit at the table and say, hey, this guy's going to be there. Mm-hmm. Who else knows what the other big names are? And they're just there to say, hey, this is the cool place to be. But the eye vision and the card stuff is just bizarre.
It's crazy stuff.
Contact lenses. This is Mission Impossible.
Right.
It really is. Like it's all I've been fascinated with this and reading it all day long. Like I sent it to you guys this morning. It was
what
crazy.
Are they saying to the Chauncey Billups of the world? Like, make sure you wear your contact lens glasses to the poker game? Like, what?
I don't
That's
know.
It
what
would
I
be
don't
fascinating, man, if there was some kind of – there's never going to be a 30 for 30 on it, but, like, how it all goes down, like contact lenses, like where you getting them, when you putting them on, I don't know, man.
There could be. This will be flushed out, man. This will be investigated. And I doubt it was Billups himself doing that. What I read was, there was basically a quarterback in the back who had access to the information and was radioing stuff in. But again, we're talking about the New York Mafia being involved in this. That's like as heavy as it gets, man. Like, that's wild,
scary.
Sopranos stuff. Yeah. And like, how do you get affiliated with people like that? How do you get to a position where you're involved in something like that?
And if you are and you're down, you are in serious.
Yeah. And that
you're doing whatever they say.
Has always been a reality, whether gambling is legal or not. If an athlete or a coach or anyone with inside information, is in a compromised position, they could be forced to do something. And I believe the reporting on it indicated that may have been the case with Jonte Porter. Yeah. That he was in a bad spot, and it was like, this is how you're going to get out of it. So, again, it's just been a wild month in the NBA. And, like, Wemby was playing kindergarten kids last night, the way he looked. Like, I was watching a lot of that game.
Unbelievable.
He looks like he is playing with a Nerf ball on a Fisher-Price hoop. Like, watch him dunk and shoot the ball. It's incredible. He had 40 and 15 last night with no turnovers. And
not talked about a lot.
No one is talking about it. Nobody.
Wow.
The Raptors won big last night. They played great, man. The Raptors played great. Darko's going Ultimate Warrior in the locker room after the game, which was a little bit strange, but still he's jacked up and excited.
Fired up. Yeah.
He's fired up. It's game one. No one's talking about it.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can't celebrate that when 30 guys are in the clink right now, and you're wondering what's going on, and it's more and more. Now, I probably should address, like, I saw the look on your face, Hayes. I went to the dentist today, and I've had, like, I think some of my face is still paralyzed. From
the right side of your face is, I'm getting concerned. I'm trying not to.
I can't.
Everything okay?
Well, it's fine, but the freezing's supposed to go away after a couple hours. I was in the chair from 11 to 1:30. Like Steph's like, you had major surgery. I didn't realize it was major surgery. And my face, I can't say certain words, so I'm like trying to hide it.
Dude, been there, man. Been there.
I'm like
10 times.
But like I tried to smile, and there's no smile from the top lip. It's like I look like I've had lip injections.
Yeah, you do. You look like Fabio right now.
I can't pull it together. And I'm trying to be as serious, and we're talking about like the mafia and stuff, and I'm like nodding, and I got to tell you guys, like I'm I can speak. I'm fine, but it's just something's not right. Like
You've
I
got
don't know.
like an Elizabeth Taylor vibe going on, and it is throwing me off because you're right. The left side of your face, you can't do it.
Just hang in the weeds. Hang in
I
the
think
weeds.
you
Just
caught
hang in
it
the
though.
weeds,
Like
man.
early on, I made a comment and I saw a look on your face going, "Is this guy all right or not?" And I was like, I wanted to just get through my thought.
Okay.
So I figured I would share early on. Yes, the freezing is coming out, but the left side of my lip on this left side is not right. Like something's weird. Like it's still puffy, and I could chew
I
on
got to
it.
tell you, Noodles, if you didn't say anything, Hayes must be paying attention or looking closer at you. I wouldn't even have noticed.
I can tell because of the laugh. Like it's a
Well, my
complete
lips aren't
laugh, but
moving.
it's a half face laugh. If
Yes,
that makes sense. Like
my
it's not a
lips aren't
fully
moving.
committed face laugh.
I feel like I could take my top lip and put it over top of my head. Like it's all swollen and weird, but
'Cause
I'm
it's-
fine.
It's a guidance, right? They say it should fade in 2 hours. There's never a guarantee. They must have shot you up crazy.
Well,
with freezing, man.
I think that's what I'm concerned. Maybe in the break you can ask Aaron when this will all go away. But like this has been hours now. I think we're on 3 hours, hour 3 now that it's not going away.
That seems extreme, but
Yeah.
that you might need to check on that, and we'll see if we can get through the show. But
I'm fine.
it's good to know you're all good.
Crazy going on though.
It's
like,
crazy, man.
You can't talk. That Wemby was unbelievable last night.
I was watching
And-
his highlights like on a loop this morning. I've
Yeah.
in an era of myself and everyone else being so guilty of saying, we've never seen anything like this before. It plays with him more so than anything else. Like this guy is unbelievable. He had a play last night where he was dribbling like he was Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And then step back 3 with a foul. An and one step back 3 at 7'6". His dunks, he doesn't even jump. He just dunks. It's
Dude,
crazy.
I might be making this up, or I might have been a little sleepy when I watched it. I think Karras said he grew over the summer.
He did. Allegedly, not allegedly.
I think I heard
he
Karras
did.
say this guy grew 2 inches.
He
Yes.
grew over summer.
He's
he got bigger?
taller. He's
Dude,
taller
yeah.
right now than he was a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible at 20 years old. I mean,
He's
I don't know how that's
7'7"
possible.
now, not 7'5".
Yeah, he put on like 2 inches over the summer.
I don't know what the hell that's all about, or at his age, if it's even possible. But I think I heard that.
I heard the same thing. I read the same
crazy.
thing. And yeah, Wemby, it's a pretty wild scene.
Yeah.
And
Don't ever give up, kids. You can grow when you're 21.
yeah, you can keep going. When you're 20 years old, you can go from 7'5" to 7'6" or 7'7" in Wemby's
7'7".
case.
Wow.
But yeah, this FBI raid, the arrest today, again the Kawhi stuff, completely different context, but a huge controversy for the NBA. And did you hear Barkley's line last night when talking about? So the Inside the NBA made their debut on ESPN last night, and they were, breaking down their power rankings for the West. And why don't we play it? This was the Inside the NBA crew talking about who they like in the Western Conference last night.
The Rockets and the Nuggets are the next 2 best teams in the West. You're off your Clipper boat? Well, I mean, Kawhi got 2 jobs, so he can't.
Which what?
He got 2 jobs. He can't work 2 jobs and play basketball.
Hey, you ever see that?
I know he had an NIL deal. He got an NIL deal from the company.
You ever see that
paid for doing
that
that?
GM?
He's got 2 jobs, planting trees and playing in the NBA. So, you can't win if you got 2 jobs. But,
I think they were trying to basically say there was 2 or 3 good teams out west, and the rest are nonsense.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, can Wemby possibly do something special this year? I think that might be premature, but we'll see. So, yeah, wild day in the NBA. We got Jose Bautista will join us later this hour. Can't wait to catch up with Jose. We'll get him to compare and contrast, his 3-run home run in 15 compared to the Springer 3-run home run in 25. He was obviously in the building for both. And get his take on what he thinks of the upcoming World Series, which, of course, begins tomorrow. Trey Savage, Game 1 starter, which
Did you see that coming or not?
I thought it was
gonna be
possible because
Gosman.
Gosman pitched Game 7. Because Gosman went in, I thought that possibly will stagger him. And, they weren't going to move Bieber
like
up
it?
or it's what's that?
You like it?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It was either him or Gosman. Like, it was one or the other, and Gosman, again, just pitched in Game 7. I'm fine with it. I mean, this guy, he's had 3 playoff starts. 2 of them have been very solid. The in-between one, Game 2 of them against the Mariners, was not awful. He didn't get torched. He just didn't have his A stuff. His velocity wasn't great. But I think it's fitting, the absurdity of this whole season and the unpredictability of it all, that the Jays are in the World Series and Trey Savage is pitching Game 1. It just
22 years old.
It fits. Yeah. It's another one of those. If I had have told you, you'd say that's just impossible. How can they be in the World Series, and how can Trey Savage be getting the ball Game 1?
So walk me through this then. Who would get Game 7 in your opinion?
Well, it's likely going to be Bieber, I think. I think it'll go Savage 1, Gosman 2, Bieber 3. So I think we'll replicate what we saw. It's just Savage and Gosman flipping. Scherzer will pitch Game 4. So that is my assumption. We don't know for sure. We'll get some audio later this hour on John Schneider being asked about Bichette. That would indicate to me they're still not sure what they're doing, man.
Dude, I don't think it can happen, man. I know the guy is a competitor, and he's an unbelievable baseball player. And I'm only basing this on the clips that I've seen. And not that I played baseball, but just the way he was running, it doesn't look like he can play professional baseball. And I know the stakes are high, and you want to do whatever you can do, but it doesn't look like it, man. And like I said, I'm only going off the clips I saw of him practicing or whatever the hell he's doing down there at the Dome. It doesn't look like it.
It's not going to be easy. It's not.
No.
And the pressure on him.
It's not going to be easy to tell him to say, "Hey, man, like I know you're dying to do this and you want to help the team, but we don't know if you can do it."
Well, okay. Role play. You guys play the role of. Oh, you play the role of Ross Atkins. What is your level of concern that if you tell Bichette he's not playing in the World Series, he's not going to sign with you in the offseason? He won't sign an extension. How does it link up with his future contract with the team?
It would almost be Nick Cage. I know the stakes would be that high. But at this particular moment, I'm cutthroat. I'm an executive, and I'm worried about the World Series, not his contract. It's got to go on the back burner. And I got to do what I got to do.
You can never ask me to stop drinking.
I like that answer,
because
I like it.
Because I knew that him not signing back was a real possibility to begin with. And if me telling him that he's not playing is going to further push him in that direction, that's a risk I got to take if I don't feel he can contribute adequately.
Yeah.
Trying to win.
That's what I got to do.
Trying to win, man.
You're trying to win
everyone
right now.
That's what it comes down to. If you're Schneider or Ross or Shapiro, if he can go in and actually be on the positive to help you win, then you do it. But if you think it's going to be a mess, then I don't know if you can do it or not. And there's only one guy that knows, and it's Bo. Truly knows it's Bo. He knows if he can go out there and be a positive impact. But athletes will lie, man. They'll say, "Yeah, I got this. I can do it." And in actuality, you probably can't. So it's going to be fascinating where they go with that.
Yeah, and you don't want to go out. Say he goes out there and he's not 100% and he blows a play or is no good at the plate. That could be the difference.
He was swinging a bat with a fake pitch, not a ball coming at him.
Right.
I know.
He was
Jake
fake
Taylor
swinging.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't know.
Now the overthinking element of this is: what if you don't have him on and you lose and you think back, man, if Bichette was there, we maybe could have won.
Yeah.
What if you lose?
We had that one bat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
What if you had to pinch hit for someone in Game 7 and you go to Davis Schneider instead of Bichette? Whatever it
those
is.
execs I just talked about make big money, man. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to figure out what's the best for the team. Him in or him out. So let's see what you got.
You're right, but is there a way where he could show up in Game 4 type of thing?
Well, not in terms of putting the roster together, Noodles. You got to make that call before Game 1.
Yeah.
Is it possible he's on the bench and let him ease into it, and it's a change of pace thing? That's possible for sure.
You bleed him in type of thing.
Yeah, possibly. You lose the first 2 games again. You say we need a change of pace. Let's put him in. I don't know. All of this has been contemplated. They've thought through every possible angle.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. And again, we'll get to that clip a little bit later this afternoon. Jose Bautista in about 10 minutes. Austin Matthews got a couple new line mates. down at practice today. You see William Nylander and Bobby McMahon are his two line mates, which means Matthew Nyes is going the other way. You know, Nyes is down with Tavares and Michelli, and now Cowan's back in there on the third line. For 7 games in, the blender is on the fritz, man. Like, Berube there's a lot of ingredients in there, man. A lot of smoothies being made.
I don't mind that, though. Maybe you tell me. I think Austin needs somebody who can go get the puck. That's Bobby McMahon, and yes, Nyes is that. But Nylander is the most creative guy on the team. And Austin's used to that, right? So maybe it's a scenario where Willie gives Austin some looks. And Nyes can go get the puck for Tavares, and he's got tremendous speed. Michelli has good speed, so Tavares is the stabilizing guy on that line. Why not try it? Why not try it? The two best players on the team are Austin and William Nylander. John Tavares is a good player, but he's 35 years old. It's the two best players. I think they're putting them together. You're loading up a line to see what they can do. That's the thought process. On the road, too. Buffalo's going to have to deal with that.
I don't think you had a choice after the last game, Brian. I don't think you had a choice. Like, it was that bad where you're like, I got to switch something up here drastically and shake things up. And we got, like, one of the golden nuggets in the league, and he ain't doing anything out there, and we got to change it up right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a weird dynamic because I would always have a relationship with my centerman where I didn't want to carry the puck up through the neutral zone. That was my centerman's job or whoever's job because that wasn't what I did. I wanted to be the benefactor of them carrying it over the blue line and then laying some kind of pass over, and that's when I kind of did my thing when I was playing at my best. But Austin Matthews is a different player as a center iceman. He might want to – we saw it with Mitch Marner. Carry the puck a lot. Carry the puck through the neutral zone a lot of the times. And then make a play to him, and then he does his thing. But he's a centerman, and it's kind of different for that relationship to be that way, but that's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's a guy that he can chug through the neutral zone, but generally he's looking for other people to do that, and him find space, whether it's driving the net, staying high, whatever it is. But listen, McMahon moving up with him, I don't know how much experience Matthews has playing with Bobby McMahon. I don't recall them linking up too often in the past. But I agree with you that you got to try something. You know, Berube kind of tipped his hand the other night when he said that.
Yeah, saying he was sick of it.
Yeah, he's kind of getting sick of it. But this is an extreme. You look at Oilers practice today, it's McDavid with Draisaitl. That's kind of been the option out there when they don't like the way some things are going, put them together. It's like that with a lot of duos around the league. It just historically was always, Marner would be there or be the guy that would kind of come and go and try to poke and prod at people. Now it's Willie. But what'll be intriguing is, how do they both score? And ultimately it doesn't matter if you win. That's the important thing to point out. We just talked about it with the Blue Jays. Same thing has to apply here. If you win a lot of games and both of you have to give up some of your offense to the other guy, okay, so be it. You got to do whatever you got to do to win. But both of them, Willie was second in goals last year. Willie scores 40 in his sleep now in the NHL. Like, that's what he does. So is his thought process, I got to get Austin going? Or is his thought process,
Dude, it
Austin,
seemed like he was
jump
playing,
on board?
He was playing on 3 different lines the other night because he was the only one going. It was like, we need you here, we need you there. They need a couple more players, man. That's the bottom line. But they can't really do it. They're kind of handcuffed right now.
Well, they need the guys they have to do it. They need Matthew Nyes to be better.
Yeah.
They need him to be better.
They need Matthew Nyes to be better. But for the people that are writing us saying, guys, you said Austin Matthews has got to drive the line. That hasn't happened thus far. So they had to change it up. Like, we can't ignore what the facts are. We said he's a good enough player. He makes enough money. And he should be driving the line, just like Sidney Crosby did when he played with Kunitz and Pascal Dupuis. He's the one that drove everything, but it didn't happen. So sometimes you can't sit and watch something for so long, or else you're going to get behind the 8 ball, man. You want to watch that for 10 or 12 more games? Are you crazy?
Yeah,
can't do it.
Well,
you switch it up and see, and you have the luxury to go back. You know how things are going, but you do want to get guys going and get a feel for it. And Austin Matthews needs to drive a line. He does. And William Nylander is a guy who can drive a line too. But if they're playing together, they've got chemistry. They've played together before. It's not like this is the first time. It's just because remember, it was Marner went down with Tavares to get Tavares going one time. And, so
it's going to be fascinating, Jamie, to say maybe on Sunday or Monday we're going to be texting each other or speaking on this platform saying, man, that top line's really, really hot right now, but when they get off the ice, there ain't a whole lot going on. Yeah. It would not shock me if we're having that conversation.
Well, that's where you need John to, like, Tavares has scored a couple goals recently. You know, he's put some goals in. He's got to keep doing that, and other guys got to create. You know, like Max Domi's capable of creating some offense. You know, how much, we'll see. But you're right, and, you know, offense from the point. Chris Tanev's going to be out for a few games. You know, not that he's an offensive wizard or a guy that's going to supply that for you. But Morgan Riley, got to be pressure on Morgan Riley. Riley's got to produce some points. He's got to produce some offense. He's got to be a guy that changes the pace of the game because he has the ability to do it. He's shown he can do it throughout his career. Listen, they got Buffalo. Buffalo won last night. They beat Detroit. Buffalo's winning some games. So, you know, we've talked about it all week that there's this division outside of Montreal, who won again last night. Everyone else is just kind of unhappy and just kind of going through the flow.
It's a miserable division.
Miserable and trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, it's kind of the nature of the league right now.
October hockey, that's what it is. It's chaos. But I feel like it's been worse this year as far as the chaos because the games haven't been clean. Like, you know, and again, I'm looking at playoff hockey compared to what we've seen right now. But it's sloppy. Goaltending hasn't been great. Special teams have been all over the map. Like, there's just so many things. And that's not just the Leafs. I'm talking through the country, through the league. There has just been, you know, and there are some teams that are on fire. New Jersey won last night.
Yep,
back-to-back situation.
Vegas has been great. Winnipeg's been good.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 teams that are kind of the outliers. Everybody else is lumped up going, we're trying to find our game here. We're trying to get our stars going. Trying to get our goaltending going. You know?
Exactly right. And as a result, could be a glass half full if you're a team like the Leafs because you're not behind the 8 ball, right?
Yeah.
You're not leading the charge, but you're also not dead in the water. All right, Luke coming up on a Thursday nighter tonight. Vikings at the Chargers. Hazenbrough on that pick. We'll get to that a little bit later on. I've compiled my list 1 through 7, the coaching meter, happy meter for the Canadian teams.
I know who's dead last, man. I'm telling you.
All right, well, you probably do, but it might surprise you. We'll tell you about that in about an hour. I'll get to that in about an hour. But Jose Bautista coming up, his take on throwing out the ceremonial first pitch the other night, being there in the building for the Springer home run compared to his own home run, and what does he make of the Jays going up against the Dodgers? How do they find a way to win the World Series? We'll catch up with Jose Bautista next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Luke Wilson on the Thursday with Buffalo coming up. Sabres have been winning more games recently. And we got Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow night. Game 1 of the World Series. The Dodgers are in town. Media day today. Trey Estavich versus Blake Snell. There's your pitching matchup for Game 1. It's going to be absolutely amazing downtown this weekend.
Pretty
absolutely
cool to even
incredible.
say it, Hayes. Like, pretty cool to say the World Series is happening, and for so long. It's just kind of standard to watch 2 other teams.
That's right. And it's not. Yeah. It's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and you're going to be there reporting.
I'll be reporting. I'll be there reporting.
I want you to remember something. You agreed that Jays go to World Series and you're firing up a bow tie to see Kenny.
I did say wear the bow tie. Now, I did come back and say I don't think I can do a SportsCenter hit wearing a bow tie.
Why not?
I revised that. Because I'm a journalist down there. I'm representing on this show.
You said you would bow tie it up and knuckle up with Kenny.
I don't think I ever said I would do that.
Yes, you did.
You said that. You have to wear
wheel
a bow tie.
by him and knuckle up and say, "Good day, fine sir," and give the tie a little
SportsCenter
shake.
is going to say, "No, you can't wear a bow tie."
Because you think Hedge is going to sit there. Like, it's the World Series. Hedge wants me to be talking about the game in a bow tie.
Yes. She would love it.
No,
I think you should go push him over and laugh at him and give him an angry look with a bow tie.
I should do that.
Say, how does it feel?
Well, people have been calling me Hazenthal online. They've been writing me saying, Hazenthal, when are you wearing the bow tie? I'll wear it on this show. All right? I will wear it on this show. All right, Bautista's waiting for us. We're talking about Ken Rosenthal and bow ties. Here he is, one of the all-time great Toronto Blue Jays. I'm sure he's jacked up for Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow night. Here's Jose Bautista. How you doing, Jose?
Nothing much. Just getting ready to watch a great series of baseball. I'm down here in Florida at home, but I'll be watching and tuning in for all the games, of course. Maybe I can get out to LA for some of the games there, and definitely going to hit up Toronto for games 6 and 7 if needed. Hopefully we beat them before that, but if not, I'll be in Toronto rooting the boys on.
I love it. Well, you've been up here, for the previous round. We saw you there for Game 6, throwing out that first pitch. Game 7, you were there. How much nostalgia do you get, being in Toronto during the playoffs?
A ton. I mean, it brings all the memories back, right? And all the runs we made into the playoffs in 15 and 16, all those games and those summers that maybe weren't as exciting, right? But seeing them in this position brings me nothing but joy, not only for the guys on the team, but the fans and the organization and everybody in Canada involved. As you guys well know, we're Canada's team, and we're followed from coast to coast to coast. And just to think about the joy, the moments, the unplugging, and the memories that these guys are going to be creating for the fans in these next few days is exciting.
Your bat flip homer is so famous in the city of Toronto, just Toronto sports in general. What's it like seeing Springer and Vladdy do their thing and have those kind of historical moments in the city, just doing such great things for their team at big moments in time?
It's amazing. Hopefully we see more of that in this next series. So, Springer's homer was unbelievable. I was there to witness this full circle, actually. Obviously, my experience was from being on the field and doing it. And this one was just like another fan in the stands. So it was a great moment. And now I have both ends of the spectrum on the experience. So it was awesome.
Well, all 4 of us were there in 2015. You played a more prominent role than the 3 of us.
Yeah, we were ducking beers.
We were drinking beers and hanging out and hoping you were going to hit that home run. You were at the plate, obviously doing it. But you and I were in the building, for Game 7 the other night. And 10 years is a long time. And you get caught up in the moment. And a lot of people have asked me, was it louder for Springer's home run than it was for Bautista's? And I have gone back and forth on this because that home run you hit, because of the buildup of the 7th inning, that's the loudest I've ever experienced anything in my life. I don't ever recall any experience like it. Yeah, when Springer hit that home run the other night, man, that roof almost popped off. How would you judge that? At the plate, in the stands, the reaction from the fans, Springer's home run, your home run?
I think for me, it's a little harder to measure because I was running the bases. I wasn't really paying attention. I know how it felt for me and how loud it was from that point of view. And I think from different places in the building, it may sound differently, right? So I would love to see, the decibel reading on both. But, it's probably hard for me to know. Hopefully it was the same or even better for all I care. All I want is these guys to win, and that's what it took at that moment for us to get a step closer with Springer's home run. So very happy that he was able to get it done.
Well, and George, it wasn't for sure it was getting out. Like everyone was kind of on their feet, and it looked like it was going out. When you hit that ball, that thing almost landed in Mississauga. Like you knew it was gone when it hit your bat. How much might that change the experience? Like you could sit, watch it, bat flip. George was kind of cruising up the first baseline, hoping it got out. And it looked like he blacked out and just started sprinting because he couldn't believe it happened. Do you appreciate the fact that you knew yours was out back in 15?
Yeah, I think they're both special in their own way, right? And they all have their bits of drama and excitement. Doing it immediately when you know that it's gone has a certain type of excitement. His, I thought, had a chance right off the bat, but like himself, is it going to hit off the wall? Is it going to get caught? And what's going to happen? So the drama, I think, adds to the excitement when you finally see it over the fence. So I think they're both special in their own way.
With Jose Bautista, we were talking to Sean Green the other day, and Sean was part of that 93 team. He came up late and didn't play during the playoffs, but has a connection for life. And being at the park, throughout the Yankee series and the Mariners series, I saw you out there, and Edwin was out there. Donaldson came up, Kevin Pillar, Marco was out there for Game 7. Like, does something like this, when you see the Jays going on a run like this, how much connection do you have with your teammates, your coaching staff, management, clubhouse staff, whoever it was back in 15, 16? How different is the group chat during a Jays run compared to maybe other years?
There's a few group chats going on with former players in different eras, and I overlapped a few, so I'm in a couple of them. The one thing that everybody has in common is the love for the Jays, and it really has that family feel as an organization, right? Whether it's because it's in Canada or the way they run things. I can't explain it. It's unlike any other team I was ever a part of. Everybody feels like they're family, and they have this deep connection that stands the test of time. So I know that everybody cares. Even if you played for 1 month, 1 year, or 10, sometimes it doesn't really matter, because I've seen firsthand the love that guys have for this organization, and I think that's special and different, like I said, than any other team I played for. So it's exciting to see, and we all rally around the organization when times like this come around. So we're going to still be there, pushing, praying, lighting up our candles, and, saying our prayers. So it's exciting times.
How tough is it going to be for Bo to jump right back in?
If he's healthy, I don't know about production-wise, but with his presence and what he can bring to the table, he's going to have impact one way or another. It's interesting to see, though, how the dynamic of him and Springer having issues with their knees, if either of them can play defense, because I'd love to see how that affects the DH role within the club. And because you definitely don't want to miss out on defense, right? Bo's a great defender, but when you are dealing with something and the guy that's been playing for you is a Gold Glove caliber shortstop, you'd hate to make a sub knowing that you're not at 100% for such an important defensive position. So I'm sure they'll figure it out, but I'm hoping that either his knee feels perfect or that Springer's back online for defense, because that'll help having both of them in the lineup, but one is the DH.
With Jose Bautista, and I think you bring up a point that is not being, mentioned enough. A lot of people looking at Bo and say, well, you need his bat in the lineup. But if he's going to play short, to your point, Jimenez has been playing it, and it's been flawless. They've been turning double plays in their sleep, man. They've looked really, really quality defensively. That was a big part of why the Dodgers got after the Yankees last year. Their fundamentals weren't very strong, and LA made them pay. And the LA Dodgers will make anyone pay if they're sloppy. And what do you think the rest of the team is thinking, I guess, from that standpoint? They know Bo can hit. If Bo's in the cage and he's hitting, he looks good, he's a veteran. But, would there be any unease among his teammates if he's playing short and you're not sure exactly what kind of, caliber defense you're going to get from him?
I don't think unease would be the right word. I think these guys are smart Major League Baseball players. They would probably look at it just like I kind of broke it down. But ultimately, they trust whatever lineup, the manager chooses and the players he picks, and they go out there and battle together regardless of whose name is out there, especially at this time of the year. There's not a lot of ego or, jealousy or anybody trying to be selfish at this time of the year. Everybody's trying to put a ring on their finger, and they'll roll out there with whatever selection the manager and the coaches make, and they're going to be fully trusting what happens with that. That being said, I think everybody wants to contribute. Everyone wants to feel a part of it. They know their role at this point of the year, right? Everybody wants to play, but if you don't get the nod on any given day, I'm sure you're going to be staying ready and rooting on your teammates as best as you can and looking to make an impact if your name gets called at any point in the game.
Jose, the Dodgers have a stacked lineup. You got me a little concerned when you talked about candles and prayers. How many candles and prayers are we talking about here? What are some of the biggest keys going up against this stacked Dodgers team?
The candles or prayers, as many as it takes, right? It depends on your faith. We are very superstitious in baseball. And, being from a Dominican culture, we're very Catholic. So I don't want to get into that, but, That's where those references came from. And I don't mean it in a way that we're hoping or wishing that we can somehow pull it off. I think we have a very capable team. I think we're playing excellent defense. Our pitching has done a tremendous job, with the exception of some of the games we lost where the middle of the bullpen kind of lost the handle on things in a couple of games. But if we contain him inside the ballpark and make him work for it, whether it's, getting a few walks and stringing a few hits along consecutively, I think it's going to be hard for them to do that. They strike out way more than we do. I will argue that we play just as good, if not better, defense. We got just as capable arms in our bullpen. It's just, can they execute on any given day? And I think they can. Our defense has been tremendous, and our base running has been tremendous. So we have a deep roster also that helps us off the bench late in games or with any subs that you have to make for matchups from game to game. So as long as we don't give up the home run, I would say we have the upper hand. So I like the formation of our team, and I like the energy and the camaraderie that they have and how they've been playing together. So we're also a little bit more riding the wave of momentum and excitement and energy and adrenaline, and we've been playing games more recently. So hopefully that gives us an edge.
With Jose Bautista, the Jays also have Vladdy Guerrero Jr., who is as dialed in as anyone could possibly be. I mean, you mentioned being Dominican. There's a long lineage of great Dominican players in Blue Jay history: George Bell, Tony Fernandez, yourself, Vladdy. Go on and on and on. How much of, at what point in his life or in his career did you maybe think this was possible, that this was the Vladdy Guerrero Jr. we were going to see at some point?
I can't say that I knew that, but, when he signed his first pro contract out of the Dominican, to even go before his first season, he came up and took batting practice with us in Toronto at the Rodgers Center, and you could tell that he was going to be special. And knowing his circle, his support around his family and all that, because of obviously who they are, you knew that his chances were going to be great. And from there, you just follow the guy and you see the approach, you see the hard work, the dedication, and the quality of the swing and the skill and the ability. Guys like that, if they have a good support team and they're dedicated to their craft, they can accomplish great things. And that's why I see Vladdy doing right now. It's been decades of hard work behind the scenes to lead to moments like this and feeling prepared. And then the moment not getting too big for you in your head, where anxiety may take over or nervousness may take, like, he's as calm as I've seen him play when the stage has gotten the brightest and the biggest. So I think he's going to be, he's going to have the opportunity to come up even bigger. And I hope that moment comes along, because I think he can do even more special things that he's already done.
So, Jose, we'll get you out of here with a topic we love discussing, and that is the ceremony of first pitch. And we were playing a clip from Michael Jordan yesterday, and Jordan was talking about having to shoot a free throw for the first time in years and how nervous he was because he's Michael Jordan. People. Exactly. You're Jose Bautista, and there's 40,000 people at the Dome for Game 6. And like, there's Jose. He's coming out to throw the first pitch. Were you nervous throwing out that first pitch?
I wasn't nervous. I was excited. Now, I didn't go for years without throwing a baseball. I coach a middle school team down here voluntarily in Tampa, so I've been throwing baseball. So and I'm sure you guys can see that with the evidence of how I ended up throwing the pitch. So I wasn't nervous at all. I was excited, and I was just trying to pump everybody up, so I let it rip, and I hope that got everybody excited.
It did. Are you teaching kids how to bat flip properly?
No, I think they've kind of picked that up on their own. So I'm more about, they're middle school boys, so I'm trying to keep their focus on the game half of the time. That's half of the battle. But it's exciting being able to give back and help out, at the school, and it's really fun.
Awesome. Well, it's Game 1 tomorrow night, Game 1 and 2 in Toronto, then 3 out in L.A., And if it gets back for 6 and 7, we look forward to seeing you in Toronto. And I know you'll be tracking every game as closely as everyone else up here. We can't wait for it, and can't thank you enough. Thank you so much, Jose. Enjoy the World Series.
Indeed, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Let's go, Jays.
Let's go, Jays. I love it. Throwing out a little rally cry on the way out, Jose Bautista.
Yeah.
Really cool catching up with him. And, it's been a cool build-up, but it's almost go time. Like tomorrow night, it's no longer about 92 and 93 or 15 and 16. It's about playing ball, and we'll see what comes of it. And
I always like when the other team shows up, Hayes. Like the Dodgers, they've been the team over there that have been dummying people.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be in the building watching them live. It's like that's pretty cool because they've just been over there.
Big time.
And it's like now they're here, and let's see what they got because they've been pretty impressive, man. They've been ass kicking.
You're right. Couldn't be more distant. Like National League, LA, Southern California.
Yeah.
But they're in our backyard now, and first guy we're going to see grab a bat and step into the box will be
that'll be a scene.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani.
What game do you think he'll pitch?
Probably game 4. That's what it sounds like. He'll pitch one game, likely Ohtani Scherzer, which would be pretty incredible. And Schneider had a great line on that today that, he hopes he brought the hat back and the shirts back that they gave him when he went down to check out the facility down in Dunedin. So I hope he gives us our stuff back,
Yeah.
That's you got to play it up, man. You might as well have fun with it.
Exactly.
All right, Luke Wilson coming up. We've got my coaching happy meter for the 7 Canadian coaches. We'll get to that as well in hour 2. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Luke Wilson coming up. Hayes and Bro on the clock tonight. Vikings, Chargers, Thursday night football. We'll get to our pick, full analysis, break it all down, see what else we got in the NFL this week. And, of course, Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow. We'll continue to look ahead to that. I've got my coaching happy meter coming up. The Leafs are mixing up their lines. Yep. We got goalies out in Calgary talking about scoring goals. We got a lot going on in the league right now.
We do.
A lot going on in sports. More of that all coming up into hour 2. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know, swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We'll get to our best bets later in the hour. We'll get to our pick for the Thursday nighter tonight. Coaching mood meter coming up. The 7 Canadian coaches may surprise you, may not. How I have them ranked 1 through 7. We'll see. See what you guys have to say about it.
There's not a lot of happiness. I know that. They're like it's basically a couple at the top, isn't it? And then it's just a mad scramble for sadness at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably one that stands out as 7, but then maybe not. I don't know.
I'm curious.
On your opinion.
Yeah, I'm curious where you guys are going with that. Like, if I don't know if there is an obvious one.
Really?
Who do you think is the obvious number 7?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Huska.
Ryan Husk. Yeah, I would think Ryan Huska.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That means that's not him. Like, he can't be happy. Like, his goaltender's freaking out now. They're in a real situation. There's no denying that.
They are in a real situation in Calgary.
Yes.
They have scored 12 goals in 8 games, I believe it is. That's crazy. Man, that's
and a bunch of them, they couldn't keep it out either.
Right. And I think their first game they scored 4 times or 3 times, and then they won in a shootout.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
They won 4-3 in a shootout against Edmonton. And so do the math, as our boy Rick Bushwood might say. It's not good. It's not good in Calgary. And Huska is possibly in 7th. If not, he's very close to it. But
I know where you're going. He ain't there. He ain't there. There is someone else that is more pissed off than him, and you don't even have to say it.
No.
No, I can just tell by looking at your face.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'll tell you who it's my ranking. It's all subjective. You guys
totally
could
agree.
see it very differently in half an hour.
We'll rotate. We'll let you do it this week, and then Noodles can do it the week after, and then I'll do it. We'll each get different perspectives.
Love that idea.
Sounds
Little
good to
buffet
me.
of mood meters.
Buffet.
A buffet of mood meters. Luke's coming up here in a moment, and we'll ask him, you guys can speak to it from an NHL perspective. And when you were playing in the NHL, gambling wasn't legal like it is now in so many states and provinces, and as prevalent, as intertwined in sports as it is today. I mean, it's obviously there's, gambling companies that, spend a lot of money on sports, spend a lot of money on sports advertisement, programming. Obviously we do a lot of it here on this show. But I would think the messaging you guys heard back when you came into the league isn't much different than what players would hear today.
Yeah, Jamie, I don't know about you, but I remember guys with suits coming at the beginning of the year for a little meeting saying, the guy that does your suits and the guy that cleans your cars and the guy that's a hookup for this, if they're ever asking questions, you need to report it. That's all I basically remember about it. It wasn't like I don't know what the hell was going on. Like, you don't think of any of your teammates doing that. Or gambling on games, or I don't even know what the hockey equivalent would be of that.
Well, I think, my first year playing in the NHL was with the New York Islanders. And I remember vividly that conversation. You're right. The guys with the suits from the PA or the league come and they lay out and say, hey, if there are people around the team that are asking about injuries and stuff like that, you have to be mindful. Also, be mindful if people are offering you free things. You go to a strip club, you go here and there. There's a lot of people that can blackmail you into certain things. They talk about all sorts of stuff. I've told you guys this is a joke. There was a guy that hung around our team who wore a tracksuit. Joe Colombo was his name. Last name Colombo. I don't know what the guy was, but you could probably put two and two together at some point.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember they came in and they were like, the guy that was doing this and fixing fridges, he's never doing that again for you guys. And everyone was like, okay.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I wonder if it's now, hey, you got to watch out if you think your teammates are doing something shady.
Well, of course.
Right? Because, again, what happened in the NBA today is these are players and coaches, right? Like Chauncey Billups is, as of now, these are all allegations and was not arrested for the sports element of this. That was about poker playing. But there are, the indictment is hundreds of pages long, and it's starting to be revealed what's in there. And if it's coaches that are possibly tipping off people, then that changes everything. And again, now we're hearing about this stuff, and obviously we heard about Pete Rose, and we heard about, the White Sox throwing the World Series and all that. But there's a chance this has been happening in sports forever and you just never knew it. That's the scary part is that now there are some people that are, there's arrests being had, and because it's regulated and these companies really want it to be regulated so that everything is fine and everything is on the up and up, and there's an integrity involved in that with the sports, with the gambling. You give people your money. You want to be able to trust the product and trust what you're, betting on or whatever it is. But, who's to say 10, 15, 20 years ago, there weren't players doing stuff. Right. You just never knew.
Yeah.
Right? You never knew.
When Wilson is cooking. Girl, it's true.
Just a brutal time to play that. Anyway, not Luke's fault, but we're having a serious conversation. And let's play a dumb intro, and here's Luke. But, hey, Luke, what's happening, man?
What's happening is if we revisit Monday, what was the chatter? Oh, we might be up by a touchdown by then. How'd Monday go, Hayes?
It's a field goal now. We're still in the lead, are we not? You guys are still chasing us, are you not?
And like we said, you guys got hot. Clearly that ended. Okay, we're going to come back to reality here.
I will be honest, I hate this game tonight.
And you're going to butcher this, and we'll be two, and it's our pick to start the weekend after tonight.
Yeah.
And we're in the driver's seat.
It's possible. Yeah. Well, you won't be in the driver's seat.
You lose this tonight, it's pretty much the ALCS, and we're the Jays. Down two going.
I like that talk. I like that.
I thought you were rooting for the Mariners.
My partsy is Vladdy, and I'm Springer.
No question.
We're the Jays.
No question.
Well, we'll see, man. Al's brother and I'm not sure if we see eye to eye on this game tonight. We'll flush it out. Al's brother will join us in about 10 minutes, and we'll flush it all out. But how about this, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton stuff?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Man,
Russ just can't help it, man. Russ gets hit with so much shrapnel. Ever since he left Seattle, it's just been such a downhill slide for him. So if you're not familiar with it, Payton was pumping the tires of Jackson Dart, which is hilarious considering what just happened with the Giants and Broncos game, where the Broncos made history in the fourth quarter and came back and won. But to paraphrase, Payton basically said, he told the owner, hey, wait to put in Jackson until after we play, insinuating, please keep Russ as your quarterback.
It's a D-bag thing to say, man.
It totally is, and good for Russ because he hammered back at him on Twitter, about the – what did he hammer him about? The targeting stuff back in the day, Bountygate when he was with the Saints. And Payton came out today and said, that's not what I meant. It completely bogus. Like, there's no way to interpret that as any other way if you're Russell Wilson.
Totally.
That he wanted you to be playing over the other guy, which is a shot at Russell Wilson, and we all know their history from Denver.
Totally. It's and I was happy, Russ said that because generally Russ doesn't show any that side of things. Sean Payton is kind of known as a bit of a diva. Even going into that, when Russ and Sean were married together there in his second year in Denver, I was like, this will be really interesting because it's two guys that have very big personalities. Obviously, we know how it played out. But what's annoying for me with Payton is it's like, okay, dude, listen. You looked like trash against the Jets a couple weeks ago. One of the worst football games I think anyone has ever witnessed.
In London, was it not?
Yeah, it was
which is
awful.
Worse.
Yeah. It was a disgusting performance.
Yeah.
Then you come in and you're down 19-0 to the Giants, and a rookie quarterback makes a bad decision. He did a lot of good things that game, but the interception kind of sparked everything back. It's a very quirky ending. They being the Broncos end up winning. This Broncos team is supposed to be a team that, hey, at this point, like, can you push for the division? That whole division's wide open still record-wise. Can you make a deep playoff run? They went to the playoffs last year. And you're coming off back-to-back weeks of playing the New York teams, and you should have been 0-2. And then the first thing Sean Payton does is go to the podium and takes a shot at Russ, the backup quarterback, a guy that he doesn't have to deal with anymore. I thought it was childish. And then I was happy that Russ was like, man, this guy's you think he said he was classless? I'm like, what a clown play. And then for Payton to, like, walk it back and be like, I didn't mean it like that. Like you said, Hayes, I'm like, dude, you've been in this industry a very long time. You know how things will be interpreted. The way you phrased that whole thing, it just seemed like ridiculous. Just an
it's an unnecessary thing. Like, pump the tires of Dart. Nothing wrong with that.
Totally.
You're allowed to do that. Russ knows what's up. Russ isn't playing, and he's not going to play again for the Giants. But the idea that you go out of your way to say, like, don't put him in until after our game is insinuating the other guy stinks.
Yeah.
And we want to play against the other guy. It's weird in New York, though, because, like, you got the owner with the Jets, Woody Johnson, who is one of the worst owners going in terms of wins and losses.
Totally.
How are we going to win with a QB that has a rating that ours does?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Destroys Justin Fields.
Terrible.
What's funny, though, is, like, I would love to know how the whole Aaron Rodgers thing went down.
As far as what?
Because how do you sit there and anybody in that front office, anybody on that coaching staff, and I'm not saying that Aaron is playing at an all-pro level. He's having a very good season right now. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Aaron of 6-7 years ago. I understand that. But he is, in the positive, not Justin Fields. How do you sit there and say, oh, you'd have a quarterback who can't pass a football or can't complete a pass, whatever the exact term was, mention his rating. You had Aaron Rodgers in the building. You kicked him out. According to all sources, when Aaron Glenn got in there, we all know his story. Do you want to play football? Get out of here, et cetera, et cetera. Now, again, that's why I said I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Justin Fields did not have a successful run in Chicago. He got benched for Russell Wilson, who's also on the bench. You're the team that shares a stadium with you, you got to know that if you get Ben Russ, it's not good. This guy's he's not throwing the ball very well.
Not good.
Right.
You come in and it's like, man, we're going to ride with Justin Fields. What did you expect was going to happen? Like, did you expect that this guy was going to come in and light the league up? So I do think it's an indictment on him. I think it's an indictment on Aaron Glenn. And I think it's an indictment on the whole front office. If they are worried about winning football games, and I'm not saying that Aaron would have put them over the edge, but if they wanted to win more games this year, Aaron is a much better option than Justin Fields. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's griping about.
I'd suggest Robert Saleh, a better option than Aaron Glenn, looking back on it.
Light years
Clearly.
better.
Yeah.
Light years
there
better.
was a 13-year-old kid that got it was just a video, and he just said,
I saw this.
It's just like, I hate this team.
I hate to see it.
And he's like, I was born into it, and I just hate it. And then he just walked away, and he seemed like, for a younger guy, like he was a kid, it seemed like he was so depressed. He just looked like dead straight face and said, I just hate this team. And I was born into it, and I'm stuck with it, and then walked away. It was so depressing.
It is in parts to further that. Imagine like you're a young kid and you have Garrett Wilson, who's a premier talent, world-class wide receiver as far as talent goes. Breece Hall, who I would put as far as talent goes, kind of in that second echelon. Like in that first one, you got Saquon, CMC, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor. And Breece is in that, second group of guys, I would say. And you're out here, and it's just, it's not even that they're losing. I mean, that's the main part. But it's like painful to watch. Like watching them,
awful.
You're like, this is so bad.
Right.
Well, and that's it. Like, at least the Giants now have Jackson Dart.
Totally.
Which is exciting.
Fun.
Doesn't mean he'll work.
But it's fun.
But it's different.
Gadaboo, yes.
Yes, exactly. You have like a running back that's intriguing. You might be able – the coach may be gone at the end of the year, so you can reshuffle. Aaron Glenn's not going anywhere.
No.
It's a mess in New York. As for Rodgers, like, it's Pittsburgh, Green Bay Sunday night, which is great. I think Rodgers has handled it really well. I was watching his media yesterday, and, he's not anti-Green Bay. He wasn't throwing anybody under the bus. He was talking about his time there in a really calm and reasonable, kind of mature fashion. Like, just saw the writing on the wall when they drafted Jordan Love. He loves – apparently the two of them are really close. He was a really good mentor for him.
Cool.
I don't believe that.
That's true. By all accounts, like Love says – like Favre and him, it was well documented. Favre had nothing to do with the guy. Wanted nothing to do with him. Now, they became close as they got older. Like, once Rodgers proved who he was and Favre realized, okay, you're legit, I think they became boys. But by all accounts, Rodgers was actually like really supportive of Jordan Love and included him. He hated the organization for drafting him, not the guy who got drafted. But I saw a report today that even though we're only into late October, there's already belief in Pittsburgh they want him back for next year. How would you handicap that possibility that we see Aaron play another year in Pitt?
I think it's a good shot. If Aaron is healthy and wants to do it, why wouldn't he? And to be honest, that team, I mean, they're in first place in the division right now, but they're not that many pieces away from being a contender. The big thing is going to be Aaron's health, but it's like, man, I don't mind their running back room. Yeah, I wouldn't call it elite with Warren and Gainwell, but with DK, the tight end trio they've got, I think is really solid. If you can get another wide receiver in there, now all of a sudden this offense is, pretty special. The problem this year has been their defense. I mean, again, they should be a one-loss team, but their defense has really struggled at times. Mm-hmm. So that wouldn't surprise me because, I think for Tomlin's run, if he doesn't get to a Super Bowl soon, he might be in that danger of like, you've been good but not great for so long now that we're going to move a different direction. There was talk last year with that. So he's kind of at the level where it's like he's got to win soon. And then you look at Aaron, it's like, hey, if I want to get a chance at winning one more Super Bowl, where else are you going to go that's a better shot than Pittsburgh? So I don't think the team is ready to do it this year. I mean, you never know. But I do think that they're somewhat close if they can add a couple pieces.
Al's brother, where are you right now? Are you a prisoner of war somewhere? Everything okay with you, Al's brother? What's happening?
Prisoner of war.
Everything okay?
What's going on, fellas? How
good.
we all
Things are tightening up a little bit, Al's brother.
Yeah, go
What are your
Hawks,
thoughts
baby.
on that?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, look. A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. You guys had a good Monday, but it's Thursday. It's a short week, and we play great under the lights on a short week. So I feel fantastic about tonight's game.
Can you go back to your pick Monday and explain to me the rationale behind that?
Behind what? Behind taking
Tampa.
Well, I mean,
we baited them, parts. We baited them.
Plus 6.5 with Baker Mayfield.
It was such a large number. Like, it's just such a large number. And Tampa's played good with all the injuries, and Baker Mayfield has still, shown that
guys
he can
don't
get
know
it
ball,
done
parts.
offensively.
They just don't know ball. That's why we're going to win the season.
A bit high.
Yeah,
it's just luck with you guys. Flip the coin,
we're
right?
+3 and rolling, man. We
coin.
never miss, Al's brother, and we do not intend on missing tonight. Now, this is a difficult game because guess who's involved? Carson Wentz. I couldn't, I would pay money not to ever have to talk about Carson Wentz ever again.
Don't take him,
It's a trash
Take
matchup.
Herbert.
It's a horrible game for that. It's
man.
Chargers at home. What is it, 3 points, Doogie? Or have you adjusted the line somehow? What is it now?
Versus Wentz, boys. It's an easy pick here. You're traveling across the country. You're gonna take Wentz over
Chargers
Herbert?
laying 3. Chargers laying 3. Al's brother, don't listen to the buffoonery over here.
Parts, could you imagine? We wouldn't even have to talk about this. Could you imagine?
We know exactly what we're doing. Go ahead,
Herbert
Al's
all
brother.
day.
Go ahead, Al's brother.
Look, it is a difficult one to get. I will say that. And you look at it, I can make an argument for both sides here. But Carson Wentz has never lost on a Thursday night, which is kind of insane to think about. Carson Wentz is 7-0 on Thursday night, a guy who knows how to play under the lights. But I'll tell you what, I just look at the Chargers, and I don't know, something's just not gelling there right now. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They've allowed almost 400 yards of offense in those games, and their red zone defense has been not great all season long. So, I think that you look at it, you're getting points, you're getting Minnesota, and what scares me is the Chargers have not been able to score either. The red zone offense has been the second worst in all of football, and the Vikings is an elite team. It's a really good defense, and they've got the 3rd best pass rush. Joe Alt might be back, but they're not going to have Rashawn Slater, obviously, who's done for the year. So there's some tackle issues with the Chargers. I kind of like Minnesota here, but I could be persuaded to go a different way, Hazy.
Do it, Hazy. Fall in love with your boys' talk.
This is a tough one, man, because as the president of football ops, I need to put faith in my people, and I have more faith in Al's brother than probably anyone in terms of duos. The Chargers, though, they've lost 3 or 4. It hasn't been great. This feels like one, fork in the road game where they have to get it right tonight.
Yes.
Like Harbaugh and Herbert have got to connect and have a night. And I look at Carson Wentz, and I can't believe he's undefeated on Thursday night. Are you including high school games?
It's kind of, life comes at you fast, boys. Last week, Singapore's calling. After this pick you're about to make, Kash Patel's calling, dude. The FBI. hey, Kash Patel's calling.
He probably is.
Got the cameras going, man.
You know what he probably is? Because he's like, these guys never miss. Something's got to be off.
He's calling saying, listen, you're on the opposite end of this. Don't ever gamble again. Take them.
He's sending us a warning. There's been some great stuff online like that.
I heard that the FBI's been on their tail, and they're trying to throw them off with this pick right here.
You're going to say there's no way in hell those guys are making money.
That's right. They can't be cheating taking this one.
It could be. It wouldn't shock me if there was some big conspiracy. Doogie Patel. Doogie Patel behind the glass.
Doogie Patel.
Doogie Patel is trying to orchestrate this and take us down.
Go ahead, send up your smoke screen. Send them in a different direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Hayes, what's your hesitancy? Is it all Wentz? Is it Carson Wentz? Is that
part
the
of
one
it
thing?
is a principled anti-Carson Wentz stance. That's fair. Definitely it. I look at the Chargers, and I don't believe that they're this awful football team now. Like they started much better than this. They've been dealing with injuries. Their offensive line has been a mess. There's no disputing it. Herbert's been running for his life. But this feels like a Harbaugh, Herbert, you've got to, if you're going to get it, you're going to get back into the season, this is the game you got to get. Short week at home. It feels like you got to find a way to win this game tonight. That's a gut instinct analysis. I get it, because everything you're supplying says on paper the Vikings are the play, especially getting points. But I look at it more as like the way the game's played and the way the world
spins.
Here comes
the King Daddy Topper.
I just uncovered
Go ahead, Al's brother. I want to hear this.
Go ahead.
Let's hear this one. Let's hear. Okay, go ahead.
I think we got to side with your Chargers tonight, Hayes, because I'm looking at what happened the last time Justin Herbert played Brian Flores and this Minnesota defense. Look, we know that Flores is the most aggressive DC in the game, the highest blitz rate in the NFL. Justin Herbert this year has the 4th best passing rating against the blitz, and last time these two teams faced off against each other, Brian Flores' defense got torched by Justin Herbert for 445 yards. This guy is a dog against the blitz. So if they're going to try and send everything after Justin Herbert, I mean, he's shown before that he could pick them apart. I just uncovered this information.
Noodles, can I ask you something, man? Is there anything worse than a yes man? You know, this is why Al's brother is around here. He comes in here, he gives his idea. Hayes like, I'm not sure I like it. Now all of a sudden,
find some other information.
Yeah, I got new information. Exactly. What a yes man.
He's finding information.
What a shill. Company shill.
He's got the X-ray glasses on, man. He's seeing things we don't see.
Shooting from the hip, and then Hayes shot him down. Now he's on board, though. That's what it is.
Listen, it's a tough game. In reality, it's a tough game. It's a really tough game.
And it sounds like the Vikings might be without both their starting tackles, too, which is tough. Like no O'Neal and no Darisaw.
What's the moon reading tonight?
It might be tough for Carson Wentz.
What's your feeling on the moon?
Go with your gut. Go with your original one, guys.
What does the moon say, Al's brother? That's going to determine the pick.
We're in a waxing crescent, boys. A waxing crescent.
I just want to Parts, I got to talk to you, man. We'll never be – these guys are up 3, and we've got them in this much of a pretzel.
We're taking the Chargers tonight.
Wow.
We're taking the Chargers.
We're on the Chargers.
Wow, look at his he's so disappointed.
We're on the Chargers.
You can tell he's so sad.
Madison Beer is going to be in the house tonight, Al's brother. They never lose when Madison's there. They never lose when Madison Beer's in the house.
He's got to put up a good game, just like in high school, right? You always had your best game when the pretty girl was sitting in the stands and looking over.
You know what? It's going to be real exciting tonight,
boys.
Real exciting. When the Chargers are down 2 and they get the ball with 1:45 and kick a last-second field goal to win by 1. Wow, I'm going to love that. I'm going to love that.
This is a fork in the road in the season. I can feel it right now. All right, Doogie. Patel, you tried your best, but it's not going to work. Right, Al's brother? You and I, nothing can take us down. Nothing can take us down.
Absolutely not.
We're on the Chargers, boys. Nothing. We're on the Chargers. Lock it in. We love it. Hayes and Bro +4 tonight.
We love it.
We love it. We love it.
All right, boys. We'll catch you on the group chat tonight. Have yourselves a great evening.
Can't wait.
There it is.
Sounds good, fellas.
Luke Wilson and Al's brother. It's always uncomfortable when Al's brother and I don't see eye to eye or
but you could tell right away. When he was leaning, you were like, no, that's not happening.
This is one I feel like this is where you get caught up in the paper. You start looking at the stats, and you start looking at this, that, and the other. Sometimes you got to like phase out a little bit and say, do you think the Chargers are really going to lose this game? Like, can they? Of course they can. It's football. It's sports. It's the Chargers. But short week at home, you've lost 3 or 4. Like, Harbaugh is going to be going nuts, and they got to have a game. That defense has got to show up tonight. And I think against Carson Wentz, they find a way to make him look uncomfortable. So, tough game, no question, tough game. If the Vikings roll tonight, Al's brother is going to be insufferable tomorrow. But
he will be.
He'll be allowed to. I did the overrule, man. We haven't had an overrule all year. There has not been an overrule all season.
I think you had to do it, man. That you described it perfectly. That is the play. There's no other way around it.
We'll see. All right, I got my mood meter, the 7 Canadian coaches. Who's at the top? Who's the happiest? And who is the most bitter right now? Just a bitter, bitter individual. 1 through 7. All right, we'll break it down. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Tomorrow on TSN 1050, hear the Toronto Raptors home opener versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jumps it down. Take that with you.
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could.
All right, best bet is tomorrow. The Dodgers are in town. Media day today. A lot of reports about how Bo looks, and maybe he's testing himself out at second base, shortstop, taking ground balls, running the bases. We'll find out.
Somebody said they thought he looked pretty good. I didn't see that. I didn't see a guy that can play in the big leagues.
It's going to be the ultimate question. It's amazing how this is hanging over the World Series. Like, it speaks to the magnitude of Bichette, who he is, what he represents, how long he's been here, how popular he is.
Yeah.
That we're not even talking about, what the rest of the lineup's doing. Vladdy's just been left alone for like 3 days, which is great. I think that's great if you're Vladdy. If you're Bo Bichette, it's obviously a different story because you're trying to get back into the lineup. But if you're Springer, just sit in the weeds, man. Right? If you're Gausman, you Savage, it may actually be a positive distraction for the team. Let everyone buzz about Bo, and you just kind of prepare for the World Series.
Exactly. Just
do your own thing.
Worry what you need to control, and that's, when does the roster and that have to go in by? Is that tomorrow morning?
I believe tomorrow morning it'll be announced.
Yeah.
Yes, believe so.
That'll be big news if Bo's.
You better believe it.
There.
You better believe it. We will find out. Yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's something you might want to circle. We'll find out. Even what they do with the staff, right? Like what role does Chris Bassett play in the next round? Is Brendan Little going to be on the World Series roster? I think we're going to see B-Lit. I think B-Lit is going to be pitching in the World Series.
He'd have a tough time pulling the trigger on that one at the Dome.
Well, I mean, isn't it time for redemption? It'd be a great redemption story. The guy comes in and has an ace of a relief type of thing.
It would be a great story. Do you trust it? Will Schneider trust it again? I don't know. He claims he trusted it in the moment.
I'd have a hard time trusting it just after his post game. Not what he did on the field, but his post game where he was just kind of devastated, man. He was like, I couldn't do this, and I couldn't find the zone, and he had a kind of tragic description of how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would be hard for me to trust after that.
Yeah, you'd have to consider that. Forget the stuff. Forget the matchup. Think about the psychology of the player. Exactly. Like, where's his head at going into this? All right. Speaking of the psychology of someone, 7 Canadian head coaches in the NHL, right? As we know. And we've done our mood meter list many times in the past, a ranking that we are very fond of. And it moves and shakes. Every week it changes. Every single week there's an adjustment. It's very fluid. All right, I have my 1 through 7. How do you want me to start? You want me to start at the bottom and make my way up?
No, I think the easy one's at the top, right?
Okay.
So you probably should start there.
Okay, I'll start at number 1. We all know who it is. Martin St. Louis. Marty St. Louis, the head coach of the Habs.
Yeah.
This is a dream start for Montreal. They make the playoffs last year by the skin of their teeth. They just get in. Now, they earned it. It's not like they were well in and then fell apart. They did the opposite. They were chasing all year. They were awful in October and November. Terrible in October and November last year. They completely reversed the way they defend. They got some goaltending. They obviously got some help in terms of Demidov by the end of the year. Hudson was phenomenal. They're a really fun team to watch play.
Everybody's talking about them in a positive light. Oh, they're the most exciting team in the NHL. They're this demigod shirts are being sold. It's just, it's all positive. Dobish is getting some starts. They're firing it up with no lights on out in Calgary. It's all going well for the Habs.
And the only thing that they're trying to do is find a spot with Line-A. Like, if he comes back, like, he might be on the fourth line. Like, that's the crazy thing they've got. But that's the point. There's no negative storylines there. They're just, question marks type of thing. But there's, nothing
Everything's
negative.
Breaking their way. Lane Hudson's doubling down. Wasn't a one-off. Not that you expected it would be.
Right.
He's unreal. He looks great. So, Marty St. Louis and the Habs at number 1. Number 2, Scott Arniel, head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Right? Yeah. Jets are doing not quite what they did last year. They won 15 in a row to start their season, I believe it was. But they look very good.
Yeah, they're 5-1.
Yeah,
like they've only played 6 games. They're 5-1. Like
exactly. Shifley looks great.
One.
Yeah, exactly. They lost their first, and Hellebuck is picked up right where he left off in the regular season, not in the playoffs. But He loves the regular season.
Yeah.
He plays
There's
incredibly
nothing to
well.
see here for the Jets. It's like we're doing our thing.
Right.
Don't look over here. We'll just see you in the playoffs, and then you can maybe have something to say. But
Exactly.
It's just business as usual.
Jonathan Taves scored his first goal the other night.
Yeah. Everyone's fired up.
Everything's great. So you could jockey the two, but I think because the Habs were not at the same level as Winnipeg last year, you got to go St. Louis 1, Arneal 2. This is where it starts to become a debate.
Dude, I don't even know how you decided who was 4.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going.
I have Adam Foote at 3 of Vancouver. I have him
3
there, but you look at it, they are not getting offensive production from really anyone. What puts him at 3 is Demko has been unreal.
Yes.
And if he's healthy, that makes every coach happy. You show me a good goalie, I'll show you a good coach.
Yeah. You show me a good goalie, you get a team with a chance to win.
Yes, and that is what has happened here. He's got like a .922 save percentage. He looks good, looks healthy. They're winning when he's in net. Like at some point, Pettersson's got to get going. I don't know if he will. Besser's got to get going. You know, there's a number of different. Even Quinn Hughes isn't off to like a statistical start like you might expect. It's been fine, but not outrageous.
Not the usual.
Quinn Hughes. But you know what? You're right though. Being 4-3, they had a 5-game road trip. Like that's tough to do. You know, so like I agree with them at 3 because I don't know where the expectations were coming into the season as well too. Right.
Another part.
So you got to be happy with where. You know, with what's been going on there for the most part.
For the most part. Winning record, road trip, Demko healthy, Foote at 3.
Yeah. Here's where it gets greasy.
This is where it's a battle royale.
Yeah, because at 4 you're thinking, I'm kind of happy, man. I'm kind of in a good mood about everything. But in reality, I don't know if there's a guy out there that is.
So someone's at 4 because someone has to be at 4.
Right.
That's how I would describe this. Someone has to be at 4. I have Chris Knoblauch at 4.
Yeah, that's the right choice. I was going to say because he knows his team hasn't played.
They've done this the last 2 years in a row. They've been in the Cup final. They've had played a lot of hockey. There's been turnover, distraction. He's also he knows McDavid's going to be here for 3 years, so that's got to be kind of affecting your mood meter. Like the guy signed.
Yeah.
You know, so you know that's coming.
They just came off an OT win.
Yeah, they just won their last game.
Yeah, and a road trip, same thing. They played 2 games at home. So I think that was probably the solid pick.
Okay, so Knoblauch at 4. I had Berube at 5. I got Berube at 5 because in similar fashion to the Oilers, the Leafs historically just have bad Octobers. Like they just don't start strong for whatever reason. He's dealing with injuries. He's dealing with, one goalie and another question mark, right? We don't know what's going to happen with Wall. We don't know what Caden Primo is going to be for this team. He's mixing up his top line. They're 3-3-1. They've had a very soft schedule, almost all home games. He's 5 because he has to be 5 because the other 2 to me are clearly lower. But you could make a case. You could probably sway me on him being lower. Like
I was going to say you could make a case, Brian, for him being 7.
Yep.
But the other 2 are battling ahead of him.
That's exactly how I kind of.
That's fair.
That's how I got here. I'm looking at the other 2, and I'm like, I can't. Like they're not. Berube's pissed, but he's just a little bit happier than those guys because, they're trying to work through the process. They're an older team, veteran team. There's a lot of reasons to be unhappy, but they're still 3-3-1. Ultimately, sometimes the tiebreaker actually has to be the record.
Yeah.
And they're 3-3-1.
I think it's an appropriate 5 spot.
Okay, Berube at 5. I have Huska at 6. So I
got Green at 7?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
And
here's
why. Here's why. Calgary wasn't a playoff team last year, and I think they know what they are for the most part. I know it's been awful. I think it's in their best interest personally. I think they got to unload as much as they can. You got to be careful because you can't take it down to the wood. Go talk to Buffalo about that. Go talk to San Jose about that.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate process. You can't tank and be horrendous. You can't.
Right.
You may never get out of it. But they're not a good team. They can't score. They got some bad contracts there, or contracts that aren't great. And I know he's only won once, and I know they haven't scored. I get it. I just feel like Huska has more of an understanding where Ottawa, they finally shut people up last year. Finally. They've been saying for years, rebuild's over, we're a playoff team. They did it. They made it. They dropped the mic. They said, shut up, we're a playoff team. Don't ask us anymore.
There is some misfortune there with the Sens. Obviously, their captain goes down, but still it ain't good enough.
Well, that still adds to the happiness meter. You got that adds to being bitter and being disappointed because Tkachuk's out for another 6 or 7 weeks. And, the penalty kill hasn't been good. Defensively, it hasn't been great. Pinto's off to a great start. But, that's – it's more based on, the record. It's not a good record, clearly. But they had to prove it again the next year. And remember what their Achilles heel was in past years. It was a slow start would kill them. They'd have a brutal start, and then they couldn't get back on the horse. They couldn't catch up enough. Now, they're lucky this year because we've talked about the division. It's not – everyone's off to a bad start.
Right.
Montreal notwithstanding.
Now, that might help them. That might help them.
It might in the end. But, I got Green and Ottawa at 7 because of the expectations. That's why. They finally shut people up last year, and now Brady's out, and they're off to a bad start. And I think, people are going to look at them and say, well, what are you doing? Montreal is proving it. Montreal made it just like you did last year. They're not off to the start you're off to.
Yeah.
They got Green at 7.
I think expectations is fair. Plus, you make a good point on the being pissed that you don't have your captain. I thought about that the other day. Yossi, he's not a dirty player, but it was a push that ended up snapping his thing. Can you imagine if he did that to McDavid, to Austin Matthews, you name it, to somebody else? There'd be summits in hockey.
It was a gray area play for sure, man. It was a greasy little push.
But that's what you got to. You can't have excuses. You got to go play. I thought they played well against Edmonton. One of those teams were going to win last game, and they got a point. But tonight's, I think, big for them. They got Philly. Philly's better than people. I think better than people expect. I don't know. Where did you expect Philly this year?
I thought bottom 5 in the league.
Yeah, they got to get a
7
win tonight. There's just no other way around it.
Yeah, there are. I wouldn't say must win 7 games into the season, 8 games in the season, but there are ones that can help the mood of everybody.
Yes.
But the only reason I thought Huska is just Calgary had 96 points last year. You're right, different situation, but Huberdeau missed the first 5 games. But Huska, I think, has shown he's been pissed a few times, too. So you're right.
He was last
Green
night.
At 7. Green at 7.
In Calgary, is there any major subtractions that I'm missing that
No, they just had – the only thing I would say is they had guys who had great seasons last year. Kadri had a great season. Coleman had a great season. Huberdeau was really good for them, and he missed the first, I think it was 6 games. But outside of that, that's pretty much the same team, I believe. There's a few young guys they're pushing through. But at the end of the day, the goalie was brilliant. If the goalie's only average, then that team might have been an 85-point team last year, but they ended up 96. I thought, honestly, I don't know if you watched any of that game last night. The goalie is unbelievable. I think Montreal had 3 or 4 breakaways, breakaways.
He was good.
And he kept them in it, and I kept thinking to myself, if he just is average last night, they lose 4-1. It's just not even, close. So, and you could see why he was pissed afterwards. But I don't like these comments by goalies.
Goalies are making comments, man.
Can't produce.
These guys are getting their contracts, and they are happy to talk, man.
I don't like that because those are the guys that are blocking shots for you in front, bailing you out. Yes, they're the ones that
Noodles, when you just continue to have good games and you can't get 2 or 3, you're like, come on.
I listen. I put in the group chat, you got to look at context of the comment, but he did say it. But there was, I watched, it was a 6-minute interview. He was like, listen, we're trying, we're battling to score goals. He said we had chances at the other end. He said all the right things, but then there was that comment where he's like, I can't go score goals. Sorry.
Tough, man.
I was like, it's just it's a tough comment.
That's what a coach would say.
Right.
I can't go out there and do it for them.
Yeah. Neither can your goalie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it just, you're right. Those are the ones that you almost see the words, you just want to pull them back in, right? Because you're like, and he's a fantastic goaltender. But you're right, 6 and 7, you can see and make a case for it.
Totally. And listen, Berube, if he was at 7 in this market, that's what everyone thinks he should be, right? Everyone here thinks he should be 7, and I get it. And it's hard to argue against it. My thing with Ottawa is they're 2-4-1. Kachuk's out. And I really think the pressure needs to still be there for them to keep proving, they're over the hump. You can't the step back after you finally make it is
awful.
Is just so challenging for a fan base.
You can't have
man,
that. You
and
can't
for everyone.
have that. Yeah,
you can't have it. You got to get back in, man. You got to.
Yeah.
Like you have to, and it's a long season. Again, this list could be totally different a week from now. It likely will be, but that's where I stand.
That's where it's a fair list. It's a completely. I don't disagree with anything.
Noodles, you have a total opportunity, a brand new opportunity next week, next Thursday to shuffle
Well, we'll
the deck.
see. I mean, there's so many games. Like there's probably each team's going to play 4 games by the time we do this list next week. A team could go 4-0. A team could go 0-4.
Damn right.
Could be, that's the thing that you look at it, and Marty St. Louis, like Montreal's had a really nice start. What if they stub their toe? What if they're out west now? Like it's road trips sometimes do stuff to teams, whether it's good or bad. The interesting one for me is Adam Foote in there. You kind of know all the other teams. Vancouver's really interesting for me. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure what they are yet. I know they got their great goaltender and a great defenseman. The goalie's been unbelievable. The defenseman's just been okay, but he's brilliant. He's one of the best defensemen in the world.
Top 10
I like
player
Marty's hair in that pick. It's jet black.
Yeah.
You must love that. Now it's not.
He loves doing his workouts too, man. He works out running the stairs at the rink.
See the size of his legs?
Yeah, it's still massive.
Quadzillas.
Massive.
His quads, and his calves. I was walking behind him. We did a game. I was walking behind. They look like bowling balls stuck into his leg. Like his calves are enormous. Like he's in phenomenal shape.
Get that guy behind home plate for the World Series.
There's 2 of them.
Legs
there was another guy there.
I know. There's 2 of them. They're both massive. I don't know if they'll be there behind the World Series for the World Series, man. These tickets are like $70,000 for 4 tickets.
Yeah.
People are paying for them. But all right, best bets coming up. And, again, Thursday night or tonight, we got NBA games tonight. Shout out to the Raptors. They looked great last night. They really did. They looked great. They played really well. Really good first impression. Best bets coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Are you serious?
Thursday night football on TSN and CTV2. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Yes, she's a 360.
All right, best bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Looking at the Thursday nighter tonight, we've already announced the pick. Al's brother and I did not necessarily see eye to eye, but that is healthy, right? That's the way the greatest teams to ever exist always operated, and that's precisely what happens tonight. Laying the points, Chargers -3. Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns, over in his passing yards prop. I got Herbert going off tonight. I got the Chargers winning tonight. There's your same-game parlay powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlay is now available for every NFL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right, what's going to be happening tonight and tomorrow? What could we possibly see happening in the sports world?
I think we're going to have more people's names coming out in the gambling situation. You're seeing, again, like big names. Like I'm worried there's some big names in there. There's one name that keeps floating about who was close.
You're seeing some floaters. You're catching up on some floaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, we'll see. We'll see what comes out of that. All the games tonight, tomorrow. Doesn't really matter what's happening in the rest of the sports world. The Blue Jays are playing a World Series game down at the Dome tomorrow.
Be interesting to see how the kid Savage kind of holds up under those circumstances. Not kind of undermining how big the other ones were, but the World Series Game 1, the 22-year-olds wheeling out there against Ohtani and company, who's been, him and his teammates have been bashing everybody around.
Isn't that his 7th start, too, in
total? In the majors.
In the major league
But they're
history,
banking on the Dodgers have never seen him, just like the Yankees had never seen him.
Yeah, that's fair.
The first guy he's going to see, Game 1 of the World Series at home, Shohei Ohtani is going to be
just give him a 4-piece, four fingers up, and
you want to walk him immediately.
Dude, I was sick of seeing that other dude, Raleigh. Like what did he have? 5 bombs against the Jays?
He had at least 3. I don't know if
it was more than 3, man.
Yeah, he had one in Game 1 and Game 7. So
I just got sick of seeing it. It's like, why throw him anything, man? Down in the dirt or take a lap. Go to first.
I guess so. But then it's Freddie Freeman coming up and Mookie Betts is coming up. It doesn't get much easier.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't get much easier.
Go right at him.
Go at him. Challenge him. That's what I want to see. You savage, go right at him. If he can hit it, he can name it.
Bow tie. I want a bow tie.
Bow tie.
Push over.
I don't know if I can pull. I can't pull it off down at the Dome. I don't know if I can do it for Sports Center. I was talking a big game.
Okay, for OverDrive on Monday. OverDrive on Monday.
I'll wear a bow tie. I will wear a bow tie.
I know you don't have one, so you'll have to get one.
I'll find a bow tie. I'll wear a bow tie. Hazenthal. Brian Hazenthal.
I love it.
All right, boys. Good stuff. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
Doogie Patel. Lock your door tonight, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.